And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gem in the Crypto episode 269.
Oh, yeah.
Today is Monday, October 15th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish.
Oh, yeah.
10-ish. So we didn't send out the crypto coin wallet instructions yet because they were updating it, correct? They updated it today.
Updated at 4 this morning.
All right, they updated at 4 a.m. this morning, so we'll have that video out to you very soon. Until then, we're going to delay the giveaways. But in terms of news, a lot of news over the weekend, as we saw. A lot of news actually today, more or less. But we are going to start off with the Dino of the day. Haven't seen one of these in forever. AARP tells retirees that Bitcoin is mainly used by a bunch of criminals. Wow.
I'm sure.
Right. The American Association of Retired Persons, AARP, has ascribed a bizarre definition to Bitcoin, and I don't know why they're using these hard words in these articles. And a caustically worded article, they even says a word article, on his website published Wednesday, October 10th, in the slideshow post titled "Improve Your Financial Literacy" with glossary. Heavy dose of contempt is specifically reserved for the description of Bitcoin and blockchain in the respective slides, while other terms like emerging markets and exchange traded funds are defined using regular financial language.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on and why they hating on Bitcoin?
Well, this this basically shows why it was so hard to talk to older people about Bitcoin when I was first starting out. You got people like AARP who it's like a dinosaur factory. They're telling other dinosaurs.
This is like a dinosaur factory.
I mean, that's literally what it is. It's if you're an AARP, we all know, you're up in age a little bit, which is fine because what we call dinosaurs is not your age, it's your age of thinking. If you're older and you think that nothing's ever going to change, that's a problem. That's the reason why you may get left behind. However, the way they described it was funny. It is sort of true, but the fact they threw criminals in there was hilarious. They said Bitcoin, a bunch of computer code that a bunch of criminals, and it's sort of one of those, just a bunch of computer code, those crazy kids.
They really said a bunch of computer code while giving financial advice.
Yeah, if you got to use the phrase "a bunch of" in the middle of describing digital asset, that's sort
and this
of
is
weird.
their website you're looking at. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, this is their actual website where it says it at.
Yeah, it's a bunch of computer code that a bunch of criminals, idealists, and speculators agree is worth real money. They put the quotations around real money.
Right.
Sadly, its real money value swings widely, making it impractical except for criminals, idealists, and speculators. So, like I said, people that are going hungry in small countries, people like myself that use it to pay for goods and services. They just threw everybody in one big pot, which is hilarious because if you look at how they describe blockchain, they say a blockchain is a different bunch of computer code containing an unalterable record of series of transactions. The most famous is a digital ledger recording all Bitcoin transfers.
They couldn't even say the Bitcoin blockchain. They put a digital ledger reporting all Bitcoin transfers.
They got to throw that in there. A word often uttered by companies hoping to snare investors' attention and dollars.
Just the fact that they use snare.
Yeah, it's like it's all a trap and that they're trying to push people away from it. However, I don't usually look at a company's public words. I look at the people behind it. And as you know, or probably know, AARP is funded by people who are funded by banks.
Of course.
They're not going to
I was about to say, who gave them the tap on the shoulder to say, hey, it's getting bad. We need the retirees to kick in their money to our regular institutions and don't believe in the hype.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish they would use these words when they were describing baby boomers when they crashed the economy.
Ooh, that one hurt.
I mean, why don't they tell them that about the dollar? It's like, oh yeah, this
bunch of criminals,
non-gold pack, it's a bunch
of idealists and a bunch of spectators.
Yeah, exactly. And this Bitcoin has been through way worse, but this is like going to the dinosaur factory, telling dinosaurs the same thing. So this is why this is hilarious. Because people are going to listen to this, and we spend more time trying to combat what people think they know.
How crazy is
because
that?
of stuff like this,
than actual talking about the tech and what's going on,
and how it works, and how it can benefit them. We have to get over the hurdle of what AARP said when they just put a report out in 2018.
And again, the shame part. But first of all, I'm glad you just said that. They just put it, not even in 2018. They put a report out at the end of 2018. We are in Q4. This might as well be 2019. This is 2019 officially. Yeah. If you don't have your 2018 business in order, it's over. Yeah. We got Thanksgiving, holidays. Come on, 6 weeks not going to work.
Yeah.
So they essentially put out a report, like I said, end of 2018, beginning of 2019. And the shame part, again, people are going to listen to it because this is where they get some of their benefits, wherever from, and they're going to say, well, AARP would not lead us in the wrong direction, even though they actually will because they don't care about you. They care about their money. But again, the statements make no sense. A bunch of computer code. Like, that's out as intellectual as you can get when you're talking about something. And again, you're talking about criminals. So all those billionaires who said that Bitcoin and blockchain, or maybe not Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency is the future, or Bitcoin they've invested in it. So all these people are wrong.
Everybody's wrong.
Draper, who probably has more money than your entire organization, is wrong, right?
Yeah.
You got, who else do we have in there? You got Novogratz. You know, it's a ton of people. The Winklevoss twins. All these people are idiots. They're a bunch of criminals, and they're wrong. But AARP... who I, not even being funny, let's just be serious here. I would say, just off my perceived estimation, they can say that word, but I can't. About 70% of them probably can't even use the internet the right way.
Oh yeah,
you can tell them what what Bitcoin and blockchain is.
Oh yeah, and I found the story I was looking for. AARP is actually a paying member of the Koch brothers lobbying organization, ALEC, since 2014. So, like we said before, when companies put out information, I don't listen to what they put in the story. I look at who's behind it or who they are paying, and that seems to be. I heard this story a while ago, but I didn't really pay much because I don't have to deal with AARP for a while. But it's one of those things where the news you get coming out, especially if you follow the news with us the last year, you can see the misdirections everywhere. So definitely big dinosaur there.
Wow, here it is right here in the writing, people. Has been a paying member of the notorious right-wing Koch lobbying organization. Yep, so definitely want to listen to them about your crypto advice.
Yeah, exactly.
But with that, we're gonna
Follow the money.
We're gonna give AARP what they're most known for in the real world, and that's that loud roar, because usually they're a bunch of dinosaurs. Bitcoin is only code. It's for criminals. Technology, email. Don't believe email. They're going to steal all the words in your head.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, could you imagine their conversations over there? Like,
yeah, it is funny because, Rubini, we were discussing him last week, and people were discussing him lately. He's one of the older people who discuss it. I found out, in 1991, he went to the Senate to discuss with them about how cell phones are bad.
Wow.
So these people, you stop listening to these people. They don't know what they're talking about. They can only say what they're follow the money. Whatever their master or their puppet master is telling them to say, that's all they can say. They go in public, make themselves look crazy on purpose, or as a business, they put out statements that are crazy because they have to.
Radio, the satellite's gonna steal all the thoughts in you. I can just imagine them saying some crazy old people stuff. You know what I mean?
Old man yells at cloud,
like the grandfather of The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. Old man yells at cloud. That's exactly.
Oh, is that where that's from? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's literally what they do.
Hey, good time. There we go. Yeah.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
All right, here we go. In other news, people. In the good news, it looks like a big company doesn't agree fully with AARP. Fidelity just made it easier for hedge funds and other pros to invest in cryptocurrencies.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Wow, people,
give us your money, fill our bags. Thank you, Fidelity.
Fidelity Investments, which administers more than $7.2 trillion in client assets, announced a new and separate company called Fidelity Digital Asset Services Monday. Of course, they're copying off of us, as many people are doing, but whatever. But no, seriously, Fidelity launched this at $7.2 trillion. So on one hand, come last week, this week, you got AARP telling people to stay away from it. And then you have one of the largest traditional institutions out there saying, no, we're actually going to jump straight into it. So. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like we've discussed before with these institutional investors, we've always stated that the goal of crypto is not necessarily for them to come along. However, I'm of the belief that if you have a market and you have speculators, the speculators will include institutional investors. That's just how it is. When Bitcoin becomes more of a currency, we'll see that change. But because the baby boomers crashed the economy, the least they can do is buy our crypto bags and bring them on in Fidelity, make all of the people under 40 rich, and then we can see how the economy actually goes.
Yeah,
I mean, they're coming. It's just at what point do they enter the market?
Y'all want to keep waiting? Just fine with us. Looks like the firm will handle custody for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and will execute trades on multiple exchanges for investors like hedge funds and family offices. Other crypto companies have debuted similar products, by Fidelity as the first Wall Street incumbent to officially provide cryptocurrency solutions like custody. Again, it's one of those things, people, is bittersweet. I'm not going to lie. The sweet part, again, is that mass adoption, like Bitcoin Zay said. Go ahead and have all these old baby boomers that have already messed up the economy in the world at large. Not just the baby boomers here in the United States. All across the world, they share blame because they all have been not the best at leading. But looks like, yeah, as you said, they're about to buy up some of our bags now. And again, the sweet part is that mass adoption. The bitter part is, as we keep telling you people, next year, all these big institutions are going to come out with their marketing campaigns, and they literally are going to try to reshape the story as if they were there first. And it's going to work. Yeah, honestly, for many people, it's going to work.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's them, Fidelity, Coinbase, Gemini, BitGo, Ledger, Itbit. I mean, all these companies are working on similar custody solutions to bring in institutional investors, big money people who want to invest. Like I said, this interest in the market should be enough for most people. However, I believe that, you know, it'll have to, the prices will have to change for people's mindset to change, which is weird. But as soon as the price starts going up, all of a sudden people jump on, FOMO happens. And like he said, these people will say, well, we've been here all along. Remember, we came up with this solution before. So
what's really going to be interesting, though, is places like Fidelity, because they even said cybersecurity is a focus here. They're talking about all that, you know, enterprise security and some of the things they've done. And I'm pretty sure they do have, like, you know, great cybersecurity. You're talking about 7.2 trillion, but that's when you were talking about fiat currency.
Yeah.
So right now, all these new companies coming out with their stable coins, with their crypto bundle packages, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I think right now is the time a hack's actually about to happen that we will not hear about until next year, because that's how it usually is. You don't hear about it for about 6 months, sometimes a full year.
By the way,
2 years you don't hear about it, or it wasn't even discovered for that long. I think right now hackers are about to pull in, go hard on some of these companies and sit and wait, because that's what they do. They're going to sit and wait for the next 10 months, 12 months, 16 months. And finally, whenever they had their product wherever built, they're going to pop their head out and just come collect. That's my only worry with some of these, is that they're jumping into it. And again, I'm glad this article, you know, Fidelity talked about cybersecurity, but that's the one thing we have not been hearing about or seeing when it comes to all these new companies and products, or all these old institutions and products. I know, right?
Get that insurance fund up.
Yeah. So good stuff, though. Pretty good to see. Real quick, want to go to some of these comments. Say hello to everybody. What's going on? Marcellus, Love, Cornelius, Crypto Ty, Shinobi, S1 Dubs,
Banger Committee. What up?
Tessa, right? Everybody.
Shout out to everybody on Facebook.
Say AARP coin next year, exactly. Right? They gonna say all this, delete this article, and then next year they're gonna have a coin.
Oh yeah.
Internet is tubes. There we go, Cornelius. You know what we're talking about. All right, one of the top stories of the day as well. A lot's going on. Tether tanks as traders lose trust. Other cryptos see price boosts. And kind of coupled with that is about the story with Tether pulled $300 million in cryptocurrency out of circulation last week. Of course, right before their, you can't really call it 4% a crash, but for a stable coin you can, I guess. So right before their crash this morning, I guess. So what's been going on with Tether?
Oh, yeah. Well, for the first time in a long time, we've seen Tether crash below the $1 price peg that they're supposed to be at.
Right.
Uncertainty in the market pushed the price all the way down to, I believe, 85 cents at one point last night. When I was watching it, it did wick down pretty far. So if you have a 1-to-1 stablecoin asset, $1 is supposed to equal 1 Tether. It doesn't really make sense when Tether's worth 85 cents. There is an arbitrage opportunity there, but you got to be quick. You would have had to be one of those people that watched it in real time and was able to make transfers between exchanges, which is pretty much impossible, especially with Bitfinex going through their issues. However, the bigger picture here is all of these stable coins we talked about the last 2 weeks, and then out of the blue, all of a sudden,
the longest one that's been doing the best.
Tether, the only one that's not pegged to some sort of bank or institution. This is the only one that we've seen that's just sort of been a part of their own exchange with Bitfinex. All of a sudden, they got problems, and you know, I'm not saying I'm not blaming anybody, but I will say if you want your stable coin to look good, all you got to do is make another one look bad. So
that is very
true. USD, all these other ones, what is it? USD coin, PAX. I mean, it's a bunch of them that just dropped. Gemini dollar. These all just dropped in the last 2 weeks, and then boom, Tether gets hit with, okay, well, y'all might be insolvent. Y'all might not have the money you say you have, and kicking them while they down, because Bitfinex can barely do withdrawals in certain places.
This is business 101.
This is business 101.
I mean, it is literally about forget kicking them. They're trying to kill them off while they can.
Kill them off while they're down.
Right. They're like, let's kill off Tether. Let's kill off Binance, or not Binance, excuse me, Bitfinex. Open up our way to our Poloniex comeback. Yeah. Or like you said, some of these other. But you're right. Again, it's one of those things where conspiracy theory or not, the timing the lines. You know, Tether has been going through battle after battle and coming out alive. But as you said, suddenly, literally, not even a full week later, after 4 new stable coins pop up backed by banks, Tether has this issue. I mean, that's a great point.
Very unstable in the market right now. However, the Tether being unstable means a lot of people were selling their Tether for Bitcoin. That fluctuation in price means there was a way higher percentage than usual number of people that were trying to get out of Tether and trading for Bitcoin. That's why you had a quick jump last night in price as well. A lot of people exchanging it for Bitcoin instead, moving to the real stable coin, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is more stable than Tether, really. And
let's talk about what really started all this. It was an email that went out last night, early this morning, where it basically said, it came from Binance. It was a fake email that supposedly came from Binance that was saying that Tether was a scam and it would be delisted. If you're looking at us on YouTube, you can see this fake email. That's one of the things, of course, that got pushed out across all the Telegram channels, which, by the way, many channels in usual fashion has deleted that they pushed it out. But a lot of channels pushed it out. So, of course, you had people on Telegram freaking out. All the words going out. CZ actually tweeted about it today, saying it wasn't true, it didn't come from them, but they're going to look into it and all that good stuff. So, again, it's so many places this could have came from. As we said, it could be some big conspiracy theory, or it could just be a dude who, it'll be funny if it's just a guy who's like got $1,000 in trying to make a quick flip. And, you know what I mean? He put out a fake email to some Telegram channels where it spreads, and now he didn't, sold the top and bought the dip. So
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, as far as Tether goes, hopefully they can get it together. But I do think this is pretty fishy, and timing is everything.
The timing is
timing is everything.
Because when they get going, they get going.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, Coinbase veteran Adam White joins ICE's crypto platform backed.
Oh yeah.
The former head of institutional products at major U.S. crypto exchange. I've seen like at least 10 different ways to introduce Coinbase and all these articles.
Every word possible. The international baccalaureate.
Right. Oh my God, the most regulated. At major U.S. crypto exchange Coinbase, Adam White will be joining Intercontinental Exchange's ICE forthcoming platform backed, according to Medium Post published today. That's a lot of people going to back from Coinbase, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it looks like Bakkt is going to succeed because it seems as though everybody who leaves Coinbase and goes somewhere else does amazing. People that have left Coinbase started ZRX, just got listed on Coinbase. People that have left, earlier started smaller companies that have succeeded. So
it's like the new Google and Facebook of everybody leaving. Like
pretty much,
you can stay here and only be a millionaire, or you can leave here and become $100 millionaire and possibly a billionaire.
Exactly. And you can always say, I used to work for Coinbase. For the rest of your crypto
that
career.
Is true. That's going to be big.
If you say you used to work for Coinbase, that's big. And it says, it's funny, Adam White, he's the 5th ever employee back when they were working out of an apartment. And Bitcoin was trading around $200. Back when Sinclair Skinner was telling me he was knocking on their apartment door, and they were like, who is it? Brian Armstrong and them. Back when there was 5 or 6 people on the couch coding. So he was around since the beginning. So I'm not surprised he's leaving. In my opinion, what Coinbase is doing is the people who used to work there, they have an inside track into the regulations that are coming or that will come for any type of institutional crypto custody, anything. So I think Coinbase has seen all of the rules that you need to to get around or to use, especially dealing with New York. So if they want Bakkt to be pretty seamless and to work straight out, just grab somebody from Coinbase. They have all the information, and they have people from Goldman Sachs on their board, people from PayPal on their board. So
not only that, from the business side of things, it's in Coinbase's best interest. Whether Brian Armstrong's doing this on his own, which I highly doubt because he brought in so many executives from different companies already, which I think they're influencing his decision because I've kind of seen how these things work. But whether it's a decision on his own or the new business people he's bringing in, I think they're honestly quietly forcing out all the original people.
Yeah.
The reason being is because if you keep them on and they do IPO, they're going to get some of that money. They can legally go to court and say he would not have had this without us. Same way Winklevoss twins did with Mark Zuckerberg. They got their 60 million. Still was a drop in the bucket compared to what he had. But that's I think what Coinbase is doing is like, hey, you know, maybe they're doing it in a motivational way, is that we want you all to go out and go far in crypto so we can, you know, have all these partnerships everywhere. Or maybe they're just telling them honestly, like, hey, we're hiring new people for this job. We don't need you in this position. We're hiring, you know, really, you know, people who have expanded these businesses and scaled these businesses already. Yep. We're hiring developers and coders that are going to do jobs that you clearly don't want to do anymore because you're a multi-millionaire already. Yep. So I think he's, you know, again, quietly saying, you know, take this, you know, goodbye package of however many millions of dollars.
Start over here.
Start somewhere else. We'll set you up to start somewhere else. You can always come back later, or we work together, whatever. But right now, you want to get these people out who have been there since the beginning, so you don't have to pay them once you IPO. Yeah. And then after you IPO, they want to come back. Cool, but at this point, I don't even see that happening because, again, he's getting rid of people who may have a chance at equity for big equity for paid salaries. You know, you got the TD Ameritrade person who came in. You got the Facebook CMO, whatever that came in. All these people are on salary. You know, some of them might be able to get 0.5% or 1/4% or something of equity, but they're on salary. But these people who've been there since day one, they can literally have a case to say, nah, I'm gonna need about 10%, 15%.
At least.
So you want to get all of them out as soon as possible, pay them off, get them out of there with no equity or little to as no equity as possible. And then the new incoming people who honestly are probably gonna be better at doing the job and executing it because they have done it at larger corporations and companies. You just give them their salary and maybe a small stake, if that.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Monique Michelle on Facebook. Yep. She says DCG invested in them. DCG co-founder was a Clinton aide and sits in Federal Reserve Board in New York. Coinbase is in the know. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they've dealt with New York, they've dealt with the highest level of what we call
corruption.
The banking industry.
Politics and regulators.
Exactly. So, you know, it's not a surprise there. But from a money standpoint, this is what people do all the time. So, not surprising.
Cornelius said, I got a newsletter at my job about ransomware. Have we heard anything about it? Yeah, it's a new one that came out. We decided not to cover it. I think it was like a week or two ago. We decided not to cover it because we kind of beat the dead horse on that one as far as ransomware. But it was a new one that just recently came out. I can't remember exactly what it was attacking, but I mean, it's the same thing as always. People just, you know, make sure you're not opening up emails from people you don't know or clicking on links you don't know. Password protection programs. Again, we use, you know, there's LastPass, there's 1Password. Those are some good ones. And then 2-factor authentication if you can. So
also a good old notebook and a pen.
Hey, there you go.
As a backup.
All right, last but not least, Binance back in the news. Binance launches its first fiat crypto exchange in Uganda.
Let's go Binance.
Why are all the exchanges flooding Africa? I wonder, people. What's going on with Binance and their bid to take over the crypto exchanges globally?
Yeah, well, Binance is basically, we ain't got time to wait for none of y'all. Right. We are just going forward with what we're doing. You know, their fiat to crypto exchange, we've discussed it before. We've actually discussed them partnering with Uganda as well as other African countries. But the Ugandan shillings on Wednesday will be able to be exchanged for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies using KYC procedures, of course. Simply because, you know, if you want to do stuff, if you want to break ground in a certain country, you're going to have to apply those rules. I would be like CZ and just be like, forget it. I don't care what we have to do rule-wise. Right. We're just trying to spread so everybody has the opportunity. We'll deal with it later because they are building a decentralized exchange too. So if the name Binance is in your lexicon and then you say, oh, they have another product, I'll use it because this works so good. So it's good to see there in Uganda. I'm sure there'll be other African countries that take note if this works good. And also investing in blockchain technology long-term. This is good for the Bank of Uganda because if they have them if they have the process of moving money using cryptocurrency and they see how seamless and easy it is, then they won't be so, you know, hard pressed to push down innovation going forward. So good to see there.
Let's see. Cedric King said, what's going on, fellas? Do you think once the government gets knee deep in crypto as a whole, will they make crypto centralized point to point some kind of way, or is that even possible? Of course they're going to try to. We're already seeing that. We're literally seeing that with the CBDC, central bank digital currencies, and some of these stable coins they're coming out with. Here's the thing. When it comes to decentralization and cryptocurrency and the government and regulators and all that, the decision is not what they're going to do. That's what people still don't understand. The decision is, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to Go by a set of rules and a system that has not benefited you. In fact, has actually robbed you throughout the years, which is like so much evidence.
Robbed your parents.
Robbed your parents.
Robbed your grandparents.
Robbed your grandparents. Or are you going to say, no, I'm going to do this my way?
Yeah.
And the problem right now is if only a small percentage of people say we're going to do it my way, which you're seeing, they get arrested, they get criminalized, you know, they get lambasted and all that because everybody else is saying, well, we got to play it safe. But if you actually see a large enough percentage of people are outpouring of people saying that, no, we're not listening to this old system anymore because you guys keep stealing from us, then there's nothing they can do except, you know, the last but not least scenario, which I think may possibly happen. That's an actual war on people.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I think, I mean, it's literally up to you. They're going to try it. Of course they're going to try it. It's free money because you're not going to do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they try it? Like, you know, we rob the taxpayers every 10 years.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do nothing after 08.
That's what I'm saying. Every 10 years you get robbed.
Yeah, y'all was at Occupy Wall Street singing Kumbaya in some tents. Y'all think that's going to stop bankers from stepping over you to get to their job? It's the same thing they're going to do. So
all they got was college kids, their first taste of, what's it called? Pepper spray.
Yeah, exactly.
Mace.
First time tasting pepper spray and mace, because I mean that did nothing. So they basically just like, y'all got a weak chest, so we're gonna punch you in it with every single centralized exchange we could come up with.
That's funny.
You know, it's funny. S1 Dubs, Russia, China, and the West are all flooding Africa to ratchet up the resource theft war going on, but Africans are awakening at the same time. That is a perfect way to put it, because after going to the Black Blockchain Summit, which does have May date in Uganda.
That's what Jamal J was.
Jamal J just said. Yep. One of the biggest things I've seen is that as people think, oh, China's going into Africa, oh, you know, America's going to, you haven't talked to a lot of Africans then, because a lot of people who live in these African countries already know what they're trying to do, and they're already pushing against it. We're doing our own, and we have our own developers, so they're awakening at the same time. They see how much their resources are, and this is the first time you can issue your own tokens or assets based on the resources you have, which Africa is rich of. So it's definitely, like we said, it's the time to choose it. This was the year to choose a side. I'm telling you, 2019, when all of these stable coins and all these exchanges are flooded, that's when you're gonna have to say to yourself, well, you know, I pretty much just gonna have to go with the flow, and you're gonna be right back in the same cycle you were before. Yeah.
And the worst part about that is Fidelity and all these other big banks are gonna keep buying Bitcoin, and you're gonna be looking at, oh, I could have bought it at 7,000. I mean, it's going to be a day people are going to say, I could have bought it at 20,000.
Yeah.
Again, you don't have to buy, you know, right now, $6,800 worth of Bitcoin. People that have a full Bitcoin buy. Oh, yeah. I think they said, you know, 0.28 was the number for the worldwide, you know, global amount everybody could have or something. So just work on buying $20 a week if that's how you can afford it, or $100 a week. But you want to make sure you have something. In worst case scenario, you just lost a few $1,000. Best case scenario is, you know, you can tell your grandkids about it.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to sit my grandkid on my knee and be like, oh yeah, I tell you about the time Bitcoin was under $1 million. Oh, that was a great time. That was an amazing time. Everybody was losing their mind at 6,000.
That was perfect. And with that, people, again, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, if we can get the videos and everything, I'll be back tomorrow to do the free crypto question. Again, we're going to give out the cryptic coins.
Absolutely.
That we're ambassadors for them, as well as October 31st, November 2nd, Real CryptoCon, people. The link for the $300 discount is in the notes. If you plan on going, you want to get that ASAP. It is upon us the next, 14, 15, 16 days. 16 days from
coming
now.
Up quick.
It's coming up very quick. Good gracious.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Other than that,
don't forget to support us on Brave.
Boom.
All you have to do is click the link, download the Brave browser, and you will support the Gentlemen of Crypto. Thank you for all of you that have. Like I said, we're moving out of the teens up into the 20s. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to get it to 100 as soon as possible, just to show that we actually have that push. So thank you guys.
Thank you all. With that, have a happy Monday, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Have a good one.